When it comes to relationship, people have a lot of views, a lot of perceptions, divergent understanding about this subject matter. And when you take your time to look at these different views, sometimes it could make up your own understanding. Sometimes it may also sort of contrast what you believe about relationship. But this is where we come in. This is Real Team TV, and today we're going to be looking at something very important, something very significant, especially for those of you that are in a relationship, that are battling one thing or the other in your relationship. Will you forgive your cheating partner? This is what we're going to be looking at today, and we're going to be joined by a very beautifully elegant young lady that will be sharing a lot of insights. So it is going to be insightful, it is going to be educative, and to some extent it's going to be argumentative. So join me, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is Real Team TV, and then today we are going to be looking at something very important, something very crucial, something that a lot of people have been talking about, and a lot of people have actually been asking me to make this video. But I said I wasn't going to make this video until I get someone who can actually talk about it and then lend their own voice into this particular issue. Now, like I earlier introduced, now the topic is, would you forgive a cheating partner? Would you forgive a cheating partner? This topic is vast. When it comes to relationship thing, it's very vast and it's very complex. But today we are going to be lending our own voice. So I hope you are going to learn a lot of things in this video. So with me today I have Queen Jenny. She is the CEO, Jenny's Crown, making a very big round in the fashion industry. So she's going to be letting us know what she thinks about this particular topic. Nice to have you once again.
Thank you for having me.
So now, the last time you came here, the last time I invited you, we had a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah.
So, but today, this topic, cheating, is something that a lot of people don't want to talk about. A lot of people don't want to consider. In fact, when you talk about cheating, the first thing that people tell you is, God forbid, my partner will not cheat, and the rest of it. But in reality, sometimes these things can even happen without one's knowledge. And you know that people's definition of cheating varies.
Yeah.
So let's dive into this matter. Would you forgive a cheating partner? Let's start that way.
Of course.
You forgive a cheating partner?
Yes, of course. Now, forgiving doesn't necessarily mean taking the person back. It's a different thing. Forgiving is more for your own self than for the person you're forgiving.
Oh, you can forgive without taking the person back?
Yes. So taking the person back depends on you. If you don't take the person back, you know that you're in for a very long ride. Then if you do not want to take the person back, you're still not doing anything wrong. Maybe it's your own way of seeking closure or finding closure. So forgiving, God said we should forgive so that He can also forgive us. So we're doing it for ourselves, even for your own peace of mind. You don't let somebody live rent-free in your heart because you're holding on to what the person did to you. For your own sake, forgive the person. Just for your own sake, not for the person's sake. Okay. For your own sake and for your own sanity.
To forgive the person.
Yes.
But accepting the person back is subject.
50-50.
I didn't know that you can actually forgive somebody without accepting the person.
Of course.
Because I have forgiven and I have accepted back before in the past. But that's by the way. Now, what happens? I have this question written down here.
Okay.
What happens when you make your partner cheat? Would you, now you have mentioned forgiving but not accepting back, or accepting back depending on what the person wants.
Yes.
What if in a case where you evaluate the processes of the cheating or what led to the cheating, you can still link it back to the other partner? Maybe there was something that they were supposed to be doing, and perhaps this person, let's say you and I are dating, and there is something that I have complained, many times, something that I know that this thing shouldn't have taken you anything, and you have refused to do it, and then at the end of the day, it led into cheating. In this situation, what happens? Would you forgive and let go, or would you forgive and accept?
The truth is that I don't believe that anybody can make you cheat. because the ability to cheat is still within your power. Now, let's say, for instance, like you said, maybe you've told your partner several times, okay, this is what I want you to be doing. Now, the word you use, which I want to focus on, is refuse to do it.
Okay.
It's either you take a walk than going to cheating. Let me just make it clear. Cheating is a way of subduing yourself to the barest minimum. You will not amount, it's yourself you're doing that harm to. So whoever that is at the other end is just like a secondary person receiving it. You're the person. You're the one who's going to subdue yourself to that level. So if you feel that this your partner has refused to maybe work on those areas you pointed out, then you either take a walk or you decide to seek external help, both of you. Maybe a therapist, or just talk to somebody you believe that person will listen to more.
But some cases, I think I have seen some cases where, maybe some of these measures were actually applied, trying to seek external advice, trying to seek external counsel, and the rest of them. But, there are some people that are unteachable.
Okay.
People who are very head bent on their own way of maybe doing things, trying to execute things and all of that. Now, in this situation now, one may not, and that sometimes these things can be, a bit delicate. It could be at a point where a particular, maybe you as an example now, you are refusing to do your responsibilities as my partner, or maybe as a wife. Let me use the word wife.
Okay.
And then that could be a time that a situation to cheat may present itself before the partner and all of that. And they have gone to counsel, but this person is still very stubborn, is still very opinionated about what they believe and what they want to do and how they want to do it. So in this case, would you still believe, or would you still think that getting external advice or counsel can help in such situations?
That's why I said it's that you take a walk. If it's not working on meeting people to help, maybe talk to the other person, then you take a walk, because it shows that you will keep suffering. That is just the meaning. For how long are you going to endure? Instead of subjecting yourself or going into cheating, why not just take a walk?
A lot of people find it very difficult to start all over. When they look at how they started, the maybe sacrifices, the investments, to think about starting all over again is usually difficult. Anyway,
it's better to start all over. Life is already complicated, so cheating makes things more complicated. Because now, okay, let's say for instance, you cheated on somebody because your partner is behaving a certain way or not doing what you want. What if that cheating results into producing a life or complicates issues more? It's just like creating diverse channels to more problems for yourself.
It's complicated.
It is.
It's complicated. So, but my second question is this: what if the cheating was not intended? Now, when I say that, what if the cheating is not intended? Somebody can be drugged.
Okay.
You understand? Somebody can be drugged. I've seen a situation where some ladies or a lady, a guy who was so desperate to sleep with this lady had to put something in her drink.
Okay.
And in a way to get to the boyfriend or the partner, they made a video of the whole process. Now, this was not intended. This was imposed on this partner. So in this situation, in this kind of case, what happens? Would you forgive and accept, or forgive and let go?
When somebody feels that the partner cheated on them, there's this kind of emotional situation or position the person finds themselves where they're not able to think straight. So I would advise that when you find yourself so that you don't make rash decision, I would advise that you take a break. Maybe find a way to calm down on your own, then approach the situation with your partner. Now, this approaching the situation with your partner, you get to hear the partner speak. it may be the most difficult thing on earth to do at the moment, but you just have to, so that when you're making a decision, you know that you're making it with your mind and everything intact. Then if the partner was whatever was imposed on the partner, maybe through drugs or whatever, that calming down at first will help you get to listen. But you may not be able to listen if you act immediately and maybe cut the person off and just cut all ties with the person. So I believe when this partner who intentionally or who did not intentionally place themselves in that position, then you get to forgive the person.
Okay, in this situation, you forgive the person and accept back.
Accept back.
Accept back.
Because even that person will be going through series of emotional disorder
trauma
and everything.
Okay, that's it's okay. We can. Okay, now the third question I want to ask is this, something that has been bothering me for a while now. Okay. Because in this video, people would also want to know, when it comes to cheating, like I said, your definition of cheating
is different.
May be different from my own definition of cheating.
True.
But one thing that is very common is ways of avoiding these things. We can have a conventional ways of avoiding this or trying to ensure that cheating does not become the subject of discussion in a relationship. So I want to ask you, what are your own ways of ensuring your partner does not cheat?
Okay. One of the major ways is communication. When we talk about communication, let there be times, not only when there are issues, before you begin to communicate. If your partner believes that maybe you're not doing things a certain way, there should be room for communication, not when things get bad, before he will call you to order or she will call you and say, okay, I want you to do this or like this and that. There should be communication. And where there's communication, there should also be compromise. Because now your own way of doing things might not be the way the partner is doing things. And maybe what you should be looking at is, this partner of mine, are they willing to adapt? And if they are willing to adapt, am I also willing to adapt? Then both of you find a common ground. Yes.
Well, okay. So now let me ask you this question. This one is a very technical question. Now, what if you cheat? Would you like to be forgiven? Tell us the truth now. What if you cheat?
On what ground? Let me know.
Cheating is cheating.
No.
Now you have your own definition of cheating.
Yes.
That definition of your cheating now, what if you are caught in such act?
Do you know what I'm asking? We pointed out where somebody might be drugged.
Okay.
So I'm asking, where is it a situation where the person intentionally?
Okay, let me rephrase it. What if you intentionally cheat on your partner, maybe as a way of getting back?
Okay. The truth is that when it comes to getting back and you decide to go through that route of cheating, the only way the partner can forgive, or both of you can forgive yourselves, is if people agree to. But on a normal, I don't think so. Because if you subject yourself, okay, you want to get back at him or you want to get back at her for cheating, honestly, it doesn't make sense. Because I don't see the reason why you want to subject yourself into the same thing you're condemning the other for. It doesn't make sense. It means that you're not even being genuine yourself. So if I find myself in such situation and my partner finds me in that situation and he cheated and I went back to cheat, if there's no agreement, we should go our separate ways. We can forgive ourselves, but
still go separate ways.
Yes.
Incredible. Incredible. Forgiving and letting go.
Yeah.
Okay. In our situation today, in our society today,
yes,
I beg your pardon, now there's been a lot of cheating issues.
True.
You see a lot of relationship ending abruptly because of infidelity, unfaithfulness, cheating. I want to understand, why are there so many unfaithful partners out there today? Now, can we link that to social media? Is there an impact from social media angle on relationship that could be promoting this level of unfaithfulness in maybe relationship in general. And let's not talk about marriage. I mean, marriage and relationship are almost the same thing because one leads to the other. So, what are your thoughts?
Honestly, the truth is that social media has both negative and positive impacts on relationships.
Right.
And also, it depends on the consumers who is and what they are consuming. Now, you can come on social media, you will see something like a very harmless video, couple goals. Maybe the man is gifting the wife all manner of things, taking her on several trips, vacation. Then maybe your own partner is not even doing anything. Maybe before he even remembers that he should take you somewhere or buy something for you, maybe once in a very golden mood, not even blue mood. Then you begin to compare.
Comparison.
Yes, you begin to compare. Now this video that you watched on social media may be false, may be true, but then you just consume it that's how it is. Then you start expecting such from your partner. There's difference. Okay, you tell your partner, one of my love language is gifting me. It's a different way of communicating if that's what you want. We're not coming to say you're supposed to gift me, you see what other men are doing, you're supposed to do the same thing. Then this is where it starts. When the man feels that when he gets home is toxic, or when the woman feels that whenever she's with her partner is toxic, they begin to look for what they call peace somewhere else, which can also lead to cheating. So even if he harmlessly went to somewhere to sit down, definitely somebody will come, maybe one daughter of Eve or son of Adam will come to the woman or the man and begin to tell him things that maybe his partner is depriving him of. Then he'll feel that, okay, this place is better. Now, another thing is that this is a little bit away from this question, but still related to what we're talking about. Most times we find out that it's difficult for men to forgive women who cheat on them than women to forgive. I don't know why it's like that, but it is. You can
actually, that is supposed to be the topic for our next video. But you can still air your view. Maybe since you have already started, it simply means that we are going to invite you to that particular to discuss on that particular topic.
I don't know why. I think even as in this part of the world, Africa, we are being taught as children and as young girls who later mature into women. Then we are taught that the men have the right to as many women as they want. I don't know how we arrive at that. So if a man is caught cheating, it feels that it is their way of life, it is normal. But when a woman is caught cheating, she's called a manner of names. And the man, you will say a woman, maybe her husband cheated, she'll be like, okay, I can forgive him. But if it's the woman that cheated, the man, she doesn't even need to have a child from outside the marriage. Just the thought of he has not even confirmed, everything will just scatter.
It's argumentative.
No, it's not.
It is argumentative.
It is not.
But our next video will be more of argumentative than what we're doing, because I will argue this particular argument. Yes, I will argue this argument because it needs to be argued.
No, it doesn't.
So that the men out there, I believe what you're saying is that you are actually right to some extent.
No, to a very large extent.
You understand? Because there is what we call fallacy of composition, where you use one person to judge the rest of them.
No, I'm judging based on a larger group of persons that are female folks. That, is the truth.
Like I said, we are going to dive into this topic in our next video. So just look out for it. Watch out for it. Now, okay. The next question is this. Is also another technical question I want to ask. If you're walking, you meet your partner on top of another woman, Queen Jenny, what would be your reaction?
To be honest, I'll walk out. Now, this is why you shouldn't lose your self-esteem as an individual, even if you're in a relationship. So that even when something happens, don't subject yourself into crying, wailing as if somebody died. It will hurt you, but please go somewhere else and cry. Don't disgrace your village people before them. Just leave. So that the person will be like, are you sure? What is she up to? What is in her mind? That kind of thing. Not you just start crying, maybe you go and start fighting the woman. And please, women, don't use this opportunity. When you see your partner or your partner cheated on on you with another woman, please don't go after the woman. Please, just respect yourself. The person you have something to discuss with is your partner. Don't embarrass yourself running after another woman to beat them or to shout at them or to look for where to go and maybe ambush them and fight them. Don't embarrass yourself in that way. The person you have conversation with is your partner. So if you walk into that kind of scene, just excuse yourself. You can go somewhere, maybe go out or just find somewhere and go and cry if you want to go and cry. Don't do that. Don't do that before them, please.
But they say that these things are usually easy when you say it. But when you meet this situation practically, it's also possible that even what you have advised now, you might see yourself doing a different thing. Because at that point, it is dawned on you that the person you have invested so much emotions in, your time, probably your money, and your life, you see the person enjoying himself
with someone else
on another woman.
True.
These things can be traumatic.
Yes.
So sometimes people may not actually, even when they become rational, when they start going over what they did, during such situations, they become so surprised. Because at that time, most people are irrational. That's why most people go violent.
True.
They just try to do whatever they can just to ensure that they calm themselves down. So sometimes advising someone and experiencing it are two different things. Because even when you face it, you may forget these things you've said now.
But the truth is that you are not trying to, like what I want to say now, just making sure that you're able to control your emotions at least a little bit.
Okay.
Not that you're preparing yourself to face something like that, but in case. Because when you go all out, maybe just shouting or crying before that person and your partner, I think it makes situation worse for you. Maybe the next thing, if your partner is someone who has a little bit of remorse, you might say it's the devil.
It was a mistake.
or that it wasn't intentional, it was a mistake.
I didn't know what I was doing.
And please, there's no cheating that is based on mistake. Before somebody, maybe it might happen without you intending, but you going on with it
repeatedly.
You don't have to be repeatedly. By the time that somebody approaches you and a person is trying to seduce you, maybe you did not plan for it, but at least your brain should have told you that this is seduction, it's only going to lead somewhere. So for you, going with it is not a mistake, except you were drugged. That is the truth.
I want to ask you this question.
Okay.
There may be people out there, cheating is something that is very regular. Let me not say regular.
Common.
It's very common.
Yeah.
I believe that in this video, there are people out there watching. There may be people out there struggling, to ascertain how to handle cheating. It could be that this has happened repeatedly in their marriage, in their relationship, companionship, what have you. And they are just looking for advice, counsel on how to go about it, especially when it comes to forgiving their partner. This is for those who wish to forgive and accept back. But they have been struggling to do that. What is your advice?
Now, I'll start with saying forgive or forgiveness is a must. Now, the taking back the person is 50-50 depending if you want, but you know that if you accept a person, now you're going to be dealing with the issue of trust, if their words are sincere and everything. So if you are going to accept your partner back, this should be on grounds that do they acknowledge that they have made a mistake as per cheating on you that they shouldn't have in the first place. That's why I'm using the word mistake, not that they cheated and the cheating was a mistake, it was an intentional motive. But the mistake I'm talking about is them going outside your relationship. Now, you consider if the person wants to be somebody better, not just for the relationship, at least for his own self. What people don't know is that cheating affects them first before it affects their other partner or their partner. So when the person agrees that he made a mistake or she made a mistake and they want to change, are they just sitting there hoping that the change should happen, or they are working towards the change? This is where talking to somebody, maybe a therapist, comes in. And it's going to be a very long ride, because now you're just trying to rebuild everything. It's going to take months, it might even take years before the trust can be built. That's why it's advised, if there's a way you can, please do not break a trust first, so that it doesn't become a very serious issue for you to rebuild. So for those who need advice, it depends on you if you still want to stay. But if you don't want to stay, just make sure that you're forgiving that person and move on. But if you're in a situation where you have children and you feel that, okay, if I leave, what about the children? Also know that the children are also watching how you handle things. It's somehow, because you might say, okay, I have forgiven, but I want to leave the marriage. It may somehow affect your children. Maybe they want their parents to be together so that they can grow like normal kids do. But also think about the children. If you train them in such a way that when somebody cheats on them, they can just take it and just let life continue, or it's a pattern. I don't know if you're trying to understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you're going to let go, do it well. The children are also watching, because most people, why they stay in such marriages are because, okay, they don't want to have a divided home because of their children.
Dysfunctional home.
Yes, but the truth is that the children are watching and they will learn from you. Whatever you do, just make sure you do it well. If you're leaving, forgive and live well. You don't need to make the issue you have with the party that affects the relationship with the children. I don't know if you understand.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you have listened to you have heard from the horse's mouth. So this is Rating TV. Please go to the comment section and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Will you forgive your cheating partner? That is the question. Will you forgive that partner of yours that cheated? Whether once or twice or repeatedly, will you forgive the person? Go to the comment section and let us know what you think. Remember,
I'd like to add something. Sorry. Now, if you're trying to forgive your partner, please, people should also go for a medical test so that you don't acquire things that you don't know of. So I needed to throw out that.
So, of course, you have heard from the horse's mouth again. So you can also subscribe to her channel. Her channel is Virtuous Queen Official on YouTube. You can also search, you can also follow her on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on YouTube. Subscribe to her channel. The channel is going to be on your screen. You can also, she's also doing a lot of great work. Apart from her fashion company that she's doing so greatly with, she's also a very vocal voice when it comes to societal issues and things that you should be able to learn and apply in your life to make it the best out of whatever you want to do with your life and all of that. So we are privileged enough to have her join us today, and she's going to be joining us again for the next topic, because I see that she's ready to argue with me. But they don't tell her say I do politics, but we'll argue it out. Okay, so remember to subscribe to this channel. This is Rating TV. Please subscribe, share, and also like this video. I promise you that we're going to make a return with this particular topic of remind me that topic again about men. Why it is easier for women to forgive cheating and it is difficult for men to forgive. I don't believe that, actually. I don't believe that. But however it is, we are going to make a return with that topic and with that video. So I want you to keep it locked on this channel. Keep it glued on this channel. We are going to make a huge return. Take care of yourself. We'll be back. Bye.